Hello and welcome back to another episode of Just a Pinch. Today's video is part of a series. I've got 3 coming out over the next 3 Mondays before Christmas. So of course we're going to be making a special Christmas menu. Starters, mains, and a delicious pudding. The dishes that I'm going to be making hold something special and dear to me because it's food that my mother cooked for us, and my mom is such an incredible, accomplished home cook. And I got to be honest, if it wasn't for my mom, I probably wouldn't have as much interest in cooking as I do today. So thank you, Mom. In episode 1, we are going to be making a traditional Dutch pea soup, or in Dutch it's known as Snert. Of course, we're making the Dutch pea soup version because my mother is in fact Dutch. So the first thing that we need to do is brown off our pork. So let's get going with that. We're bringing a large stock pot up to temperature, putting in a little bit of olive oil, and I'm using pork shoulder riblets. There is bone in here. There is quite a large portion of fat. There's a lot of connective tissue and collagen, which is going to thicken up our soup today. So I've got a few of these pork shoulder riblets that are going to go in. Now you don't have to use pork shoulder. You can use pork belly is fine. Just your normal stock standard pork chops that you get at a shop, you can use those. Just season those lightly. And what we're looking to do is get a nice brownness. You want to caramelize some of that meat. Look for that Maillard reaction, which is going to give us that depth of flavor, umami. That's what we're looking for. Whilst my pork riblets are in there browning, I'm going to prepare the vegetables. So you're going to chop up your celery, a whole onion, a couple of carrots, and this is celeriac. It is a root vegetable. It's part of the celery family. If you can't find celeriac wherever you are, just normal celery will do. Sounds like a B flat. There we go, that's what we're looking for, that lovely caramelization, that brownness. So we're going to turn that off and remove them. Put them aside. All our vegetables go in there. So you've got your carrots, leeks, onions, and celeriac. Make sure they all get a nice even coat. And we're just going to let that cook for a little bit, let it soften off. And then to that, we're going to add some chopped up bacon bits. So you only need, I'd say, about 200 grams of bacon. Now that bacon is going to add some saltiness as well as some smokiness, some of that beautiful fat as it renders out, and of course that lovely pork flavor. Now Michelle is kosher, so she's not going to be eating any of this. But when I do a taste test at the end, you're just going to have to rely on my verdict and trust that what I say is true. If you are kosher or if you are vegetarian or vegan, by all means you don't need to add any of this meat. Maybe a nice substitute for that meat flavor would be some mushrooms, a smoked paprika, and soy sauce to give you a bit of that umami. And that's going in with the vegetables whilst they are cooking. Wash your hands. You're dealing with raw meat, and especially meat like pork. Not quite as bad as raw chicken, but will fuck you up equally. I'm filling up my kettle because we're going to be making a chicken stock, 1.5 liters to 2 liters. So we're using a Knorr stock pot. They are high in sodium, which means if you over season that with salt, and you've got the chicken stock, and you've got the pork, which is a naturally salt meat, you're gonna over salt the cuck out of that thing, and you're gonna be drinking 5 liters of water because you're so thirsty from dehydration from the salt. Science. Now my mother's Dutch and she grew up in a Dutch household, so I've got Dutch aunts and uncles and grandparents. I personally cannot speak Dutch, although there are a few words that I've picked up along the way. One of the things I love is spikkelaus. You know those biscuits that you buy with the windmill on them? That's spikkelaus. Stroopwafels. Stroopwafels. Opgebakte aardappels met stroopwafels en die chocolade. That was my best Dutch. What else? Drop, which is salted licorice. I absolutely love it. Katje droppen or double zout. Croquette as well. We celebrate Christmas and we do the big dinner and the Christmas crackers and the presents and that sort of thing. We do that on Christmas Eve or Pakjesavond. So my entire life I grew up as a child doing Christmas presents on Christmas Eve, which is quite nice because then my father's side of the family, who are British, we would do Christmas on the 25th. So quite often, I've got a double Christmas. I know it's really weird. I'm Dutch and I'm British, but I've got this accent. Time to be adding our stock and our split peas. So this is a 500 gram bag. I only need about 3/4 of that packet. So probably about 375 grams. I don't know, we'll see. We're just gonna wing it. You should give these guys a rinse. So in with our split peas and in with our chicken stock. Last few things to add: fresh parsley, 1, 2, 3, 4 bay leaves, and some fresh black pepper as well. Now what's going to happen is you're going to see quite a lot of foam that will build up. All you need to do is just remove that foam. Add our beautiful pork that we've browned back into the pot. Oh, it's smelling amazing. So we're going to bring that up to temperature. We're going to watch some of that foam as it starts to rise, bubble up. We're going to remove that. So you need to cook this for a minimum of 45 minutes. We'll remove the pork riblets, chop those up, remove the bone, and put the pork back in. And we'll also add some smoked sausage to it as well. Cook it for a further 15 minutes. The longer you cook it, the thicker it becomes. If you undercook it, you're gonna have way too much bite and chew. So that's it for now. You can park off, you can leave, go to the bathroom, send your CV out if you're looking for a new job. Who knows? In fact, what you should do is...
Hey, Simon here. If you like this video, well, hit the like button. Even better, hit subscribe. It really does help me. Right, let's get back to the video then, shall we?
Okay, so it's been about 45 minutes, and now for some ASMR content. I drooled on it. I literally drooled on the microphone. I think I'm sexy. She nodded her head. It's time, let's have a quick squiz, shall we?
It smells amazing.
So let's just remove these. I'm just gonna chop up the meat that's around the bones into little small pieces and then put that back into the soup. But in the meantime, what we can do is I've got some, this is German smoked bratwurst. If you can get a traditional Dutch rookworst, which is smoked sausage, anywhere near you, then that's what you should be going for. This is the best alternative that I could find, but essentially it is a smoked pork-based sausage. It's really, really, really delicious. So we're gonna chop these up into 1.5 centimeter thick slices. So those two sausages have gone in, and I'm just gonna strip the meat from these bones and then put them back in. They're gonna cook for another 15 to 20 minutes.
You cold outside?
Okay, it's ready. Oh, yes. The split peas have cooked down, so they're no longer hard. They're almost sort of, they've cooked out a little bit. I mean, it doesn't look very appetizing, I'll admit. Kind of looks like something that Trek would serve at Christmas. You've got the smoked sausage in there, you've got the little bits of pork, and of course all your delicious vegetables, and then the peas. We should do a taste test.
Oh my goodness, that looks good.
Hey?
Oh, yum. Wow, Sam, that's lovely.
I served some up, and I had some, and I gotta be honest, it's so good, Mom.
Better than mine.
No, it's not. No ways. Never. But
just as good. Just as good.
I was saying, I think I remember one year driving home from Splashy Fen, hungover, tired, miserable, smelling like a fire, haven't had a shower in like a few days. And I think I asked you to make pea soup. So I always remember that was like one of my best pea soups that you ever made. Was that one?
Oh, shame.
It doesn't look very good. You know what I mean? But,
no, but
it looks like green sludge.
It does look good.
Yeah, to Dutch people it looks good, yeah.
Yeah, to Dutch people, but for everyone else, they're like, what the hell?
This is heaven. Oh, this smoked sausage is fucking amazing.
Is it? Is it as good as rookworst?
It's the same thing.
Oh, okay.
It's just the German version.
But I'll never forget being in Holland with Opa and Oma, and they had a market. I can't remember where it was. One of the little towns. And there was a competition for the best homemade rookworst. And we bought some from the guy who won the competition. God, Simon, it was the most amazing sausage ever. When you bit into it, it actually burst. You know that from the juicing. The best ever.
Thanks for your help.
No problem, love.
Yeah, love you.
Love you too.
Bye.
Love you, Charles.
Yeah, love you, bye. Bye. That's it for episode 1 of my 3-part video series for my Christmas special. This is a Dutch pea soup. It is the starter. Now, bearing in mind, pea soup is really filling. It's quite rich as well. So if you are serving this as a starter, make sure that you keep your portions a lot smaller than this. This is like a main portion. Next week, we're going to be tackling roast beef. Oh, I can't wait, because you know what that means. Gravy, Yorkshire puddings, roast potatoes. The pressure is on. And then finally, for episode 3, I've got a special episode. We're going to be making a dessert, but it's the dessert to rule all desserts. And don't forget, if you like the video, hit subscribe, smash that like button, all the things.